full service options, as well as how you can get started using Intelligent Mail. We're also going to look at eDoc and Postal One, and then we're going to talk a little bit about pre-sort and post-pre-sort solution. So like I'm talking about right now, PAEA is the Postal Accountability and Enhancement Act. And when this passed back in 2006, mailers were, for the most part, pretty humming SOX compliant. The Postal Service had to address a couple of different things. One was the type of documentation that they accepted from their customers. And the other were the methods of transactions that they had back and forth between their customers. And when you're talking about financial data and financial reporting, as the Sarbanes-Oxley Act does, then you really got to look at something that's going to be as accurate as possible. And in this world, we're talking about doing things electronically. So one of the big things that came out of this was that handwritten or manually altered postage statements, you know, where maybe you've run it on your computer using software, but then you've gone in and just kind of scratched things out and used whiteout and wrote some new numbers in by hand. Well, those documents were no longer good. You can't turn those into the Postal Service anymore. They have to operate in an electronic world. They have to do that because they're being required to maintain better data about the mail they get. So in order to do that, like I've said, they have to increase the quality of that data by getting that electronically from their customers, the mailers, mail service providers. As we'll see, some of that data now comes from the barcodes that are put on mail pieces, trays, pallets. So as we segue into our little section on barcodes here, the first thing that we are going to talk about is the PostNet barcode. And if you've been paying attention to what's been going on with the Postal Service, you know that this thing is really on its last legs. It was developed in the early 1980s, and it will cease to exist come January of next year, 2013. This simply just encodes routing information on the mail piece. It can be a 5-digit zip code, it can be a 9-digit zip code, or it can be an 11-digit zip code, and it includes check digits and framing bars. Another barcode that the Postal Service has used in the past is the Planet barcode. This was developed back in the 1990s and is really just an inverse representation of the original PostNet. This also includes your framing bars and your check digits, and is used with the Confirm service to track your mail as it makes its way through the Postal Service. There were two different programs that you could play with Confirm. One is the Destination Confirm. That means you have a Planet barcode on outbound mail to your customer, so you're tracking your mail as it goes around the country on its way to your customer. Then there's Origin Confirm, which says on those business reply envelopes and cards and everything else, or like envelopes provided for statements to come back, not necessarily business reply type, but just envelopes provided by the mail owner, going to track those pieces coming back from the customers. Another barcode used in the past were on the sack and tray tags. This was a 10-digit barcode, an interleaved 2 of 5, and this too only contained routing information. Now we're going to take a look at where the Postal Service is making their transition to. This would be the Intelligent Mail barcode. So if you want to look at a pretty scary example of the difference between all the information using barcodes and endorsement lines and participant codes and all that kind of stuff in the past, that's the graphic on the left. And where we are and where we'll be in the future is this nice, neat envelope on the right with just one Intelligent Mail barcode on it. So again, looking at that future, we have Intelligent